Xbox has taken extra time and more attention to detail to one of their premier franchises with Forza Motorsport, which has become the highest rated and best-in-class racing game among the industry greats. This is Colteastwood. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Forza Motorsport and the new features and updates they brought into the game and when the game will release on Xbox consoles and PC. If you end up enjoying this video, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified of new content, and let's talk about Forza Motorsport. June, they showed fans a deep dive into the new engine, next generation only visuals, and promised to make this Forza Motorsport bigger, more detailed, and advanced with the power of the latest hardware on PC and the new Xbox Series S and X. Now, lead designers and engineers for Turn 10 have broken the silence on where the team is with Forza and how very soon we'll have hands-on, and it looks better than ever. Everyone is expecting to see Forza Motorsport release this early spring, as Xbox's release schedule is packed with other big AAA games from first-party studios held over from last year. The team at Turn 10 has been busy workshopping ideas, expanding the game's scope, and even testing ideas favorited from the original Forza series even back on the Xbox 360 with online and offline features. For over a year, the team has been testing the game with industry veterans and fans in a closed environment, while also bringing on professional consultants in the racing sim community. Chris Sasaki from Turn 10 explains.
Hey, people are responding really positively. All the things that we put out there, feature-wise, obviously the visuals, but also he was super pumped to see, oh, if they only had these features, it's going to be a great game. And he's like, well, just you wait. We have some great stuff in store for everyone. But really, that's indicative of how much transformation I think the studio has gone under with engaging with our players at so many different levels.
Forza is already lauded as one of the best looking and best feeling racing games in the mainstream, especially on console. And the Xbox Series X version of the new Forza Motorsport game impressed critics and tech experts to the point of incredulity, where even Digital Foundry doubted that the Xbox Series X version of Forza would run like this at 60 FPS with ray-traced lighting and reflections. At this point, with the extended trailer and game showcase from June, it seems as though Forza Motorsport is all ready to ship. Chris Sasaki explains.
Getting in there and tuning every car in our multiplayer groupings of cars so that they're all dialed in within a thousandth of a second of each other, so they're super balanced, and that the competition is super balanced. So we're not only listening to the community and integrating the community in at different levels, but actually bring them onto the team now, which is great. So anyway, back to some of the amazing response that we've had to things like the fidelity of our gameplay and physics. Once again, seeing that response, it really just has been pushing us to just get this thing done, and motivates the team, because it seemed like we're doing the right thing. And hearing that is just super energizing for us. And that brings us to where we are today. I think we're extremely happy with the vision and the feature sets that we've been bringing together. And like Dan said, we are nose to the grindstone now in full production, and we're entirely focused on just executing on the great ideas that survived all of that playtesting, all of that interaction with the community. So that's where we are, and we're in full production mode now.
Dan Greenwald of Turn 10 talks about the implementation of new and modern features into the game, as fans have asked for more simulation features, real racing immersion, and how the team trimmed down to a core and polished feature set for 2023.
And in this case, with Forza Motorsport, we were rethinking kind of everything. And in some of those cases, we found that actually through iteration, we had things pretty good in previous Forzas. So some things really that we did the rethinking, and then we said, actually, this isn't any better. It's just different. And then there are some things we were rethinking with modern game design and genre blending of current things that you see all over the place. And then harking back to older games, so games that we made previous Forza Motorsports on the Xbox 360. So it was really about new ideas, old ideas, bring them all together. That's that concept phase.
Obviously here, Dan is reading from notes and communication he has gathered from the team and comes across as very well thought out, but now fans and even the media are wondering or worrying if the game is shipping early in 2023 or just after the spring, closer to summer in 2023. Insiders close to testing and development for Forza Motorsport are sure the target is still this coming spring. Dan explains what he had to cut from the game to make that happen.
The next phase, and this is where we are right now, is production. In production, you put your heads down and you build. We build together as a team. We have strike teams that come together to deliver things together. And the goal is to hit your dates, have great energy, have great clarity, come together and build as a team. And then the final stage, which we'll be entering as we get into next year, is polish. And polish is really critical. If you've got a massive game like Motorsport and a lot of new systems that you've been rethinking, that's a lot of surface area to polish, and it takes a lot of time. And so you've got to focus that down. And the real art of game development is not biting off more than you can polish. So as you get into concept and pre-pro, and then as you build in production, if you have decided we're building something that this team cannot polish because there's too much surface area, that becomes a really, really big problem that you set up years in advance. So this has been an entirely new overall process for Motorsport in that we, with Motorsport 7 and getting the players involved and all these new things that Chris mentioned with new data and what have you. But the 4 phases remain the same. We're deep in production now. We'll be heading into that polish phase where we'll be raising our heads up a little bit sometime in the new year. One thing I've been asked by the press multiple times over the years, when we're shipping a game, so like, oh, is there some feature that got cut that you really, really wish would ship? And it's strange to me, because as a game developer, my answer, like flat out, is no. Because of the process of flaring and focusing, I've seen all of the features go through that iteration. And when we decide it's not worth doing, I'm like, yeah, that was a good decision. That allowed us to focus on polishing the things that remain. We're not cutting these things under distress. We're cutting these things because it's allowing us to make an even better game for our fans. So, every time I've been asked that by the press, I'm always kind of like, nothing? I don't know. I just want us to make a great game for people, and an individual feature. I just know all of the stuff that we flared out, and I'm like, the mountain of that stuff is irrelevant relative to the really critical polish time that makes a great game.
We'll be back in a few months, and we'll be able to share all of what we've been working on, and I think everyone's going to be super excited about that. So just sit tight. We'll be back soon, and this next year, it's the year of Forza Motorsport. It's going to be great.
Forza Motorsport is the premier racing franchise, and with nearly full 5 years of development time, giving the team an extra 3 years to reboot, polish, and cultivate a true return to form. Implementing the tried and true racing sim features like physics, qualifying, and temperature modeling. This will give racing fans, and especially Forza fans, the best feel behind the wheel, on controller, and in the seat of the fastest, most precise racing franchise from Xbox Game Studios.
20 years ago, the car industry didn't know what to think of the gaming industry. And now, it's very clear what the value of Forza and the gaming industry is. We create the next generation of car purchaser, car buyer, car lover, car aficionado, and that's not just for this hot hatch, it's for a car like the 911 GT2 RS. We are creating that car passion, and the car industry knows it. And that has helped us realize this franchise vision of shaping the future of automotive entertainment, creating a true community of car lovers and gamers that honestly changes the way that car culture moves around the world.
This is Colteastwood. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you've been with this channel for a while, you know how much I love racing games. I just finished Grid Legends on Game Pass, played all of the game on that track racer steering wheel seat combination. So much fun, and I can't wait to play Forza Motorsport behind the wheel. Of course, I'll put a lot of time on it on the controller, but this one probably most behind the wheel. But I'm really excited about some of the updates they're bringing to the game and how they fleshed out things. One thing I was surprised to hear was that they had all these broad ideas of what they wanted Forza Motorsport to be. They went really all out about what they were going to do, what some of the sim racing games do, because you have to remember there are big and expansive things that Project Cars or iRacing or other really competitive online racers do that are really immersive and really true to professional racing, but they don't necessarily make the game better or more fun. And in fact, the core racing audience wants that perfectly tuned racing experience online by themselves or with friends. So this has been something, it'll be interesting to see what they kick out and what they've added, but we do know that major things like qualifying, temperature, fuel, different things like that that have been kind of absent from the series are coming back. And we will probably see a beta test or an alpha for the public or insiders very, very soon. If you ended up enjoying this video, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified of new content as it goes up. And if you want to further support the work that we're doing here on the Colteastwood channel, you can join the channel membership below, or you can join the Patreon, and either of those will get you entered into early access for videos before they go up, and for free merch giveaways every month, like this XC shirt I'm wearing, and well, I mean, you get to pick if you're the winner. I don't choose for you. Also, if you want to check out more discussion that is happening, we are also doing the XC Gaming Podcast Club on the Xbox, and there are tiers on the Patreon where you can join that, and we're hanging out, talking, playing games, or sometimes it kind of becomes a mini podcast as we talk about what's going on in the gaming news. And speaking of that gaming news, the XC podcast is every Monday night at 5 with Gaz. Can't wait to see you there. But I want to know what you think of Forza Motorsport. Sounds like things are in good hands. Sounds like it's all good news so far all the way around. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and while you're there, please remember, as always, please be nice.